Hello you guys! IMDEXSTAR here and welcome back to my channel! So, for today's vlog, we will be talking about perfumes. Fragrances that I would want to try on, or actually not try on, but that I will be using all throughout the fall-winter months, which will be starting, I think, in a week from now. And for those of you who doesn't really know me, I am a fragrance enthusiast, not a fragrance expert. I'm just addicted to fragrances. And my addiction has taken me into going to essential oils as well, which if you have seen one of my unboxing videos, I got Young Living. I'll try to link that somewhere there, all those videos of my unboxing for Young Living, or I will put that in the description box below. Okay, so today we will be talking about the fragrances that, if you may call it recommend, you can, but these are the fragrances that I will be using for the coming fall and winter months. And I don't really use just one fragrance because I make sure to layer the fragrance to give it a bit more character and also give it a bit more of a personality and putting you in the personality, because most of the time when you pass by or when you meet someone and they smell you, they would say, that smells good, that's this. That is what I do not want, that when they smell it, they smell or they are reminded of the brand name. So that is why I make sure to layer fragrances, and when they smell it, they would ask, what kind of fragrance is that? And I've actually encountered a lot of this a lot of times. And I would always tell them, I layer fragrances and it's not just one particular fragrance. So if you smell that again, that's me. I want you to be reminded of me and not the brand of the perfume, okay? Okay, so first up is actually this is from Christian Dior. This is Eau d'Ispahan. This is one of those scents that are really a bit stronger at first, but it really settles in very, very well. So this is a floral fragrance that is meant for men and women, because this is one of the private collections of Christian Dior, and it is suited for both men and women depending on your taste. All right. So basically, the top note is labdanum. And then the middle notes are patchouli, rose, saffron, and it's really very, after the first spray, it's really a bit strong, and then afterwards it settles down to be a little bit more floral because of the middle notes, patchouli, rose, and then saffron. And base note is really where you get the oud part, which is cedar wood, sandalwood, and agar wood, which is the oud. All right, so this is one of those that I will be using for the coming fall-winter months. That's Eau d'Ispahan. And then, of course, one that I just got a top-up with is our very favorite. This is Creed Aventus for ladies. All right? And if you notice, it doesn't mean that I am a man. I just use perfumes for men. You can always layer perfumes of men and women, because that gives it a bit more character, because there are certain notes that are only in women fragrances, and when mixed with certain kind of fragrance, it gives you a bit of certain character, okay? And also, let me put this as a disclaimer, none of these things are sponsored. My gosh, I wish these could be sponsored, but at the moment, these are all personally purchased, all right? Okay, so next up is, of course, our Creed Aventus for ladies. And this is one of those perfumes that are really very elegant. And this is one of the staples in my perfume cupboard. It's not, I don't really classify it as like fall fragrance, because for me, this particular scent is one of my base perfumes when I layer things, because it really settles in very well. And it's very long lasting. So with this particular fragrance, let me put that up. It really smells very, very good. So with this, I mean, first impression, it's really it's really a bit fruity, a bit sweet, yet floral. That's my first impression when you actually get to spray it and smell it. And also one tip, if you're using perfumes, never rub the perfumes. When you spray it on, just tap it, never rub, because the heat that is produced by your skin in rubbing your skin actually creates a different reaction to the oils and the combinations of every perfume. So, well, these are just tips that I get from brand ambassadors and also perfumers that I get to encounter whenever I go to the shops. All right, so never rub it, just tap it. All right. Okay, so back to Creed Aventus for ladies. All right, so with that, you actually have the top notes. When you first spray it, that's the top note. The top note means the first scent that you smell when you first spray it. That is a patchouli as well, green apple, bergamot, lemon, pink pepper, and violet. Okay, so those are the top notes. And then middle notes is, of course, when it settles down, after a few minutes, it settles down onto you. It is with Mysore sandalwood, rose musk, and Tirax. And then the base note, or actually the long-lasting part, the one that really stays on, which is going to be sweet peach, blackcurrant, lilac, ylang ylang, and amber. So if you'll notice, there's really a mix of a lot of fruits. That's why when you smell it, it's really like fresh, a little bit fresh when you first have a hit, and then after you have that fruity goodness that really settles down onto your skin. All right, so that is Creed Aventus for ladies. Well, another one actually, which has been a staple of mine in my cupboard, and as you can see, almost gone. Well, it's really gone now. Is of course Creed Aventus for men, which I really need a top of. Okay, and this is really one of the staple fragrances that I use almost every day, and I layer it with a lot of things. And this is really a fragrance that gives you that masculine, fresh masculine elegance, if you may call it. And it's really, really good. And it also lasts very, very long. So, really need to get a top up. Another one for a fall winter fragrance is the Tom Ford Ombre Leather 16. Okay, this is when I first encountered Tom Ford private collection. I think this is one of those that I have tried on and I really loved it. Let me spray that. It really has that depth and gives you that warmth during cold season. It really gives you that depth and warmth in a fragrance, and it really has that good vibe feeling. I mean, you know how that bit of warmth that you get when you have, like, when the weather is cold and you have like a bit of fire going on. That particular warmth is really what I feel when I have this fragrance during fall winter. So that's Ombre Leather 16, and with that, your whole fragrance is actually composed of leather, of course, the leather essence, and then violet leaf, cardamom, jasmine sambac, oak moss, and patchouli. Okay, so this really is a very, very good fragrance that gives you that warmth and soothing atmosphere during fall winter. So that is the Ombre Leather 16 of Tom Ford. All right, and of course, last but not the least, which is going to be the very first perfume that I tried and purchased from Tom Ford, is, of course, your Tom Ford Black Orchid. This has been used a lot of times, and I really love this. So, I'm not gonna spray it because it might come onto me and it's gonna be too much for today. So, this is really very good. With Tom Ford Black Orchid, this is really more of a deeper scent, and you just need a bit because it really goes a long way for this, because the scent is really very intense. So you really have to be careful when you try it on for the first time, because it might really hit you hard. Okay, so I know there's a lot of things to take in for all these fragrances, all those ingredients and things like that, but this is really one of those fragrances that gives you a very soothing feeling as well during fall winter, and it's a bit intense, it's a bit more of a stronger side, but I think it's one that would really carry you through fall winter. Alright, so I hope that you were able to get a bit of idea onto the perfumes that you might be able or you might want to use during fall winter. So sometimes, as I've said earlier, not really sometimes, but all the time, I would layer my fragrances to be able to get a bit more of a character and to show forth my personality, that when people smell it, it's me, okay? So with these ones that I actually do, here's one that I usually layer during fall winter. You have this to be, I always use this like a base perfume during layering in fall winter. When I say base layer is that this is the first one that I use to spray on. I spray it on first, and then after that, I would layer it with the Tom Ford Ombre Leather 16, like as a second, if you want to call it like a middle note, I would use it as a middle note, but I would use it second, and then last one just to top off everything and really give it a bit of an intensity, and also that, because I'm in an Arabic country, give that impression of the Arabic sense, okay? I would top it off finally with our Dior Oud Isfahan, okay? So for fall winter, these are three of my somehow go-to combinations because this never fails. And then sometimes if it's a bit more of a fresh part, I would top it off with the other Creed for men perfume, right? And during the night, if I would just go out for the night, then I would usually top it off with the Black Orchid of Tom Ford, okay? Because this really gives you that intensity and a bit more of depth in terms of the perfumes. All right? Okay, you guys, so I hope that you did have a bit of an idea of how I do all my perfumes and fragrances. And of course, if you did like this video, don't forget to click on the thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one. Bye.